Hey guys. So I'm back in full work mode and I have quite a bit of a plan before me. Today I'm going to be working on taking the roof off this bad boy. I'm going to start with this, the fiberglass, and then work my way into cutting these walls down so that I can start building walls inside. I've gotten a few things done and I hadn't really videoed it. I got disconnecting the electrical done, but I didn't record the whole process. It looked a little something like this. I have to go through and disconnect all of these ports here, and then I can go on the other side. I'll have to go through here and get rid of all of this silicone, and then I can go through the other side and I can pull those lights through, pull this guy through, and they'll be disconnected from this wire. I have the first one pulled out here and labeled, and I have two more. So I'm making a bit of progress. I was able to get the wires out from this length, and I have this length to go. I took down these guys right here, which are these metal bars that are going across the roof. You can see the area without those guys there anymore. So I'm gonna keep working. Maybe take out a couple more of these metal bars, get these guys knocked out the way, and then I'll be able to get a bit more of this wire. All my wires nice and organized so that I don't lose anything. I also have everything labeled, as I mentioned earlier, so that I know what goes where, what's the front end, what's the back end, all of that good stuff. And that's what I have done so far. I was able to disconnect all of the wires. I didn't tape the whole process, sorry about that. But it was pretty simple, just again, a lot of trial and error. I also took out all of the metal beams or rafters that were running across the roof as well. So now that that's done, my next plan is to go through the process of taking off the roof. I'm gonna start by taking off that fiberglass, as I mentioned earlier. And then there's a tape line on this side. You guys can see it there. There's also a tape line on the other side as well. I'm gonna just cut a straight line. I marked off where I want my line to fall. I'm gonna cut it there. I'm also gonna cut it against my back wall here as well. And then once I get that done, then I'll go through and I'll start removing the roof in sections, but I'll show you all of that as I work my way through. It's pretty nerve-wracking. I'm actually really nervous about this part because I've never done anything like this before. I've never done anything like any of this before, so I'm pretty nervous about it. But the good news is that once I get the walls down, once I get the roof down, I can start building my walls with my metal studs, and then everything seems pretty straightforward from there. Until I get to the electrical and the plumbing, and I think that's when it'll get complicated once again. So yeah, I'm gonna get started. Let's go. To remove my fiberglass material, I start by drilling a pilot hole. Once that's complete, I can use my jigsaw to cut away all of my roof material. To cut my walls, I'm going to follow the same protocol I used to cut away the roof. I'll drill my pilot hole and then I'll use my jigsaw to cut a line separating the material that I'm keeping from the material that I am getting rid of. Here I'm using the Sawzall or the reciprocating saw to cut through the thicker metals. This will make it easier for me to remove the wall segment one at a time. I'm done. with this last piece of truck material, my demo is complete. So now I can really start like picking up speed and getting into the meat of what's going to create this house, building my walls, just the whole process. So I'm super, super stoked. This whole thing of cutting the walls down was actually a lot easier than I expected. I went into it with a lot of nervousness because I was thinking, man, once I start cutting the roof off this thing, there's really no turning back. Like, cutting the roof off felt like the point of no return. So it's like, if it doesn't go well, then what? Yeah. So now that the roof is off, and like in the process of removing it, I felt a lot less nervousness than I did anticipating starting the process of removing it, which is probably true for how I and most people respond to most things in life. The nervousness of the pre-start, and then once you start, it's just I'm in the zone and I'm not really thinking about, oh my God, I'm about to mess this up. So yeah, taking myself through this process was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It was also a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. I started this process yesterday, which was Tuesday. I know the videos, I have 3 different outfits, if you notice that, so it makes it look like it was 3 different days. But what really happened was, in day 1, my clothes were covered in fiberglass material, so I had to change my clothes so that I could stop getting it on my skin. So I started this yesterday, which was Tuesday, and I finished it today, which is Wednesday. I thought I was going to be working on this until the end of the week, and that I wouldn't get to working on my studs or figuring any of that stuff out until next week. So I'm really pumped because now I get to get an early start on figuring out the process of working with my studs and all of that good stuff. So yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe so that you can catch all this cool content that I'm going to be throwing your way. And if you want to like really keep up to date with what I'm doing with the build, and get to know me a little bit better in real time, follow my Instagram page. I'm usually posting way ahead of the release of the video the different things that are going on with the truck and where I am in the process. So yeah, follow my Instagram. It's Summer Seeking. Yeah, that's all I got. All right, so again, thank you for watching. I'm out. Peace.